Hey everyone, it's Chelsea from the Allen County Public Library, and for this week's Adult Summer Reading Program, I'm going to be talking to you about the mythology in our constellations. Now, for those of you who don't know what a constellation is, it's simply a collection of stars in the sky that create an image. And most of the constellations that we know today, like Orion's Belt or Ursa Major, come from Middle East, Greek, and Roman cultures. But they aren't the first people to create constellations or associate those with their mythologies. In fact, there are mythologies in constellations all across the world and throughout time, even in Native American cultures. But those stories are the ones that we know of today, and there are about 50 of those ancient constellations. And those are the brightest stars that you can see with your naked eye. But in the 1500s to the 1700s, 38 additional constellations were created because of the use of the telescope and exploring the southern hemisphere. So we now have a total of 88 constellations. And in this video, I'm going to tell you the story of 3 of those constellations, and I will teach you how you can locate those stars in the sky. The constellation Ursa Major and Ursa Minor are probably familiar to you because in them you can find the Big Dipper and Little Dipper. But the story associated with these constellations goes a little like this. Zeus, which is the god of the sky and thunder, was a bit of a ladies' man, and he took a liking to a young nymph called Callisto. And much to his wife's dismay, she got so jealous of this woman that she turned her into a bear. And when Callisto saw her son, she tried to run and hug him, but he saw her as a bear and was afraid he was going to get attacked. So to keep him from killing his mother, Zeus turned him into a bear as well and flung them into the night sky by their tails, and that is where they stayed together to this day. The tale of the constellation of the Northern Crown goes like this. Minos, the king of Crete, created a labyrinth to confine the beast Minotaur. It was so difficult that no one could escape it, and each year the king sacrificed beautiful young people in the labyrinth for the beast to eat. One year, the king's daughter, Ariadne, fell in love with Theseus and helped him escape the labyrinth if he would just take her away with him. He won and took her away, but he left her on an island alone. Luckily for her, Dionysus, the god of wine and parties, came to her aid and fell in love with her. He made a crown with 7 jewels, and when she died, Zeus placed the crown in the sky. That constellation is known as the Northern Crown, also known as Corona Borealis. If you're interested in learning more about the constellations, stars, or different celestial objects that you see in the night sky, you might be interested in downloading the app Star Chart. In it, you can see all the different objects in your night sky, and they're labeled, and you can click on the different things that you see, and it'll show you information pertaining to that constellation, star, planet, or other object in the sky. As you can see here, you can see the different stars associated with Ursa Major. And you can even change the settings on the app so that you don't see everything in the sky. If you're just interested in constellations, you can change that to where you just see constellations, or you can just see stars, or just see planets. It's totally up to you. You have all the control. Alright, I hope you enjoyed our video today and maybe learned something new about constellations that you didn't know. And on the next clear night, I hope you go outside and look at those constellations, maybe identify a few that you didn't know before, and maybe even create your own constellation. And I hope we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me.